Hi everyone, Exeter Rider, hope you're doing well. So this week I have another review for you, and it's something slightly different because it's rare that I get these bikes. It is a Suzuki, and it's the new Suzuki 8S, which is a new bike, newish. It's come out in 2023, I'm reviewing this in 2024. And it comes with the new 800cc Suzuki engine, a parallel twin. So what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to walk you around the bike and we'll have a little look and see what's what. So there she is, up a bit closer there. It's got the trellis frame there, look, on the back. This one's in blue. It also comes in white, grey, black. So they all look good. All nice colours, and it comes with the matching cast 17-inch wheels on the front and on the rear. Now before I forget, one thing which I would like to say is that I don't know why these bikes these days have the catalytic converters on the back there. They're the first things that are going to corrode, aren't they? And they're always exposed. You know, I wish that they would sort of cover them up, really. You've got the stacked headlight there, which, you know, divides opinion. Seat comfort is great. I've been over Dartmoor this morning, so I've been out on it for about 2.5 hours now. I've probably put about 60 miles, I guess, on it so far. The engine itself is really punchy. It's a very quick bike. Yeah, so it's a hooligan machine. It goes up against, I guess, the KTM 790 Duke. And what else have we got? The MT-07, and also of course the Honda Hornet 750. So how does it compare to them? Well, let's do one at a time. The KTM 790 obviously is punchy as well. It feels much the same in many ways, in the way that it's set up, and it feels, you know, sort of ready to race as well, dare I say it. Against the Hornet, the torque and curve comes in sort of, well, I'd say that the Honda Hornet is at the top end, is where it really starts to fly. It's got that sort of Jekyll and Hyde element about it, where there's another train coming, 1 minute. There you go. Right, so yeah, so the Honda Hornet has this Jekyll and Hyde sense of personality about it, where it will go, you know, nice and steady, and then it will just fly at the top end. Sounds really nice as well, the Honda Hornet, as does the MT-07. The MT-07 feels a slightly smaller bike, possibly because of its relatively tight wheelbase. So I'm just going to show you some of the SwitchGear. We've got the 5-inch TFT dash here, which is all very nice. I forget that's it. Yes, we've got the rev bar there, traction control settings, and sport settings as well, whatever you want to call that. Speed settings, gear indicator, speed, fuel gauge, normal mileometers, normal stuff there. On the handlebars we have all the standard stuff here. This has got the Suzuki Easy Start system, so you just push it once and it kind of starts itself. So it will just keep firing until it fires up. It's nice, it's quite a nice thing to have that. Left down bar, very, very simple. Got all the mode settings here for traction control and all the rest of it, and indicators and horn. Non-adjustable clutch, but it does have an adjustable brake lever. Seat comfort has been really surprisingly good, considering the type of bike that it is. Certainly much more comfortable than the Honda Hornet, for example, and a bit more cushioning than the MT-07, whereas the KTM 790 is the seat is set up just a little bit tighter. Still very nice, but it is a bit firmer. It's a very punchy throttle. There isn't much forgiveness in it once you have it in, you know, even if it's in the softest mode, like the rain mode, whatever you call that, option, well, I say call it an option, what's it called? SDMS, I can't remember what that stands for now. But in C, you know, it's still quite punchy all the way through. It's not a negative, this, but it is a slightly snatchy throttle on it, I would say. Very, very responsive. I think that's a better way to put it. So yeah, so what's this for? This is going to be somebody who wants to have a bit of fun on a bike, likes to hoon around a bit, and also likes to be somebody that has something which isn't the norm, so to speak. And that's a good thing, I think. You know, like somebody that wants to rock up at the bike cafe with a bike that's slightly different. Now, I think that this bike could have done a lot better. I'll be perfectly frank with you. I think Suzuki don't really get themselves out there like they should, like the other brands, and that's why the other brands sell so well. And Suzuki almost get slightly left behind there. Busy today. Yes, Suzuki gets slightly left behind there, but it still feels like it's in the background compared to the press and the exposure that the Honda Hornet got, for example. It's a shame, really, because you know, Suzuki as a brand is still your typical Japanese brand, super reliable, and parts are always available as well, which is always a good thing. And there's a lot to be said for them. Overall, they're just really good bikes, aren't they, as we all know. Styling wise, looks really good. I think it's nice to have something a tad different. The brakes are twin disc on the front and a single on the rear. They're made by Nissin. Yeah, they're good. They're okay for what you know. They're kind of what you expect, really. So this bike is £8,300. It's 82 brake horsepower, which when you ride it, it actually rides like something that's over 100, I would say. 810 seat height, so it's easy to sit on and move around. 202 kilograms, and it's got a 14-litre tank. And don't forget that you get the Suzuki 3-year warranty within that price as well. Right, so let's just sit on the bike. I'm 5'8". I got a 30-inch inside leg measurement, and it's all standard naked bike setup, really. If you're a taller rider, then you probably still be okay with this, I would say. There's a little bit of a sculpted out tank here, so if you're over 6 foot, you might start knocking this, possibly. It's a bike that you sit on as opposed to in, obviously, like you would expect from any street bike. The exhaust hasn't got that punch and the sound that you get from the Hornet and the KTM and even the MT-07. It's slightly tamed down. You can actually buy an Aquapovic exhaust for this bike, which does sound really good. A friend of mine, HippoDrones, on YouTube, has one of these bikes. So he's done loads of videos on them, and he's done a couple videos where he rides quite fast as well, which might be worth looking at. And also he's done a full review and a first ride of his bike as well. So he's done a lot of videos on this bike. So after you finish this video, not yet, after you finish this video, then check out his channel, because as I say, he comes from an owner's perspective on it, and he's a good rider as well. So check out that one. I will put a link in the description for that. So yeah, that's pretty much how the bike is set up. So rather than me yabbering away, let's get out on the bike and go for a ride. Right, so on the dash we've got all the traction control settings and etc. The ABS is something which is really quite impressive with this. I think they've got that spot on, not too obtrusive at all. Quick shifter as standard, which works really nicely. Quick shifter is standard, up and down, bi-directional as they call it, and again that works really quite sweetly. Sat on the bike, sat on it as opposed to in it, as I say. A very punchy throttle. If anything, it's over punchy for the type of work which I normally do, commuting and etc. But as with any bike, it's as smooth as you want it to be, isn't it? So now I've got it in the most aggressive mode at the moment. I still have traction control on. I believe you can turn it off. I don't know how. I'm not really bothered about turning it off either, because I'm not going to be pushing it that much. This is Exeter rider, not HippoDrones riding here. So yeah, lovely on sweeping bends, very light to ride, turns in beautifully. It's a good bike to cut your teeth on. And overall the seat has been good. I've been on it for 3 hours now and my butt is still fine, no problems at all there. So riding on sunny days like this, it's really nice. It's something, you know, a real hooner of a bike. Quick shifter again is fantastic. You can really, nothing behind me, it's all good. Whee! Oops, a bit fast there. It's one of those bikes that can get you in a lot of trouble really quickly. Speed wise I'm talking there. It will look after you. It's got all the technology, the decent tyres, really good handling, handles really lightly and nicely. So it's got all those gizmos to help you out there. If you're a new rider and this is your first bike, then you're not going to have any issues there, because you know, it's down to you, isn't it, how much you twist that throttle at the end of the day. So you just got to you know, ride to your own abilities, and there's nothing to worry about. It's not going to be too fast for you, only if you make it go fast. To ride around slowly, it's still okay as well. So yes, it's not as soft as the 800DE, for example, but it isn't going to be. It's you know, the bike is set up differently, isn't it? It's fueled differently. There's a lot about it that's a lot different. The brakes are okay. They're not Brembo quality as such. They're made by Nissan, and they're just okay. You know, they do the job all right. It isn't particularly what I would call a touring bike as such. It's just not set up for that. You know, let's talk about what it is. It is a street bike, and that's what street bikes do, isn't it? You know, they're meant to be hooned around on and treated aggressively, shall we say. Loads of overtaking power. It's the sort of bike which you don't need to hesitate too much. If you want to do an overtake, you've got the power there, and you can change down quickly as well with that quick shifter. So in traffic, when there should be some, there never is there? Normally ram down here. Anyway, traffic riding, it really is just what you would expect, isn't it? Nothing to write home about there. Everything's light to use. It's plenty of power to pull you in, you know, in and out of traffic and filtering. It's not very wide. There's nothing for it to hit. No panniers or anything like that. Holding in the clutch at the lights, again, it is fine. It tends to hold itself closed pretty well without any strain there at all. It will pull off the lights in front of everything, no problem, easy peasy. And you've got the quick shifter as well, of course, to go up and down pretty quick. The mirrors are still not very good. You know, you get a good shot of your elbows and that's about it really, but indicators and everything else is easy to find, no problem at all there. And yeah, I couldn't show you filtering, but I don't really need to, do I? It's all basic stuff, and it's exactly as you expect. Okay, so out on the dual carriageway work now. I haven't done much of this. In fact, this is the only bit I've done. Been on the bike all day and haven't hit a motorway or a dual carriageway as yet. So mirrors wise, they're not the greatest. You kind of have to move your head back a bit to find out what's going on there. Fourth gear here. If I knock it down to third, yeah, it kind of runs out of puff nearer the top end. But anything around sort of, what would I say, probably around 4,000 to 8,000 is where it's at. Take it up to speed. Right, 70 miles an hour, 6th gear, under 5,000 revs. It's what you'd expect. There's loads of power there, so the engine's just ticking along really quite nicely. Very, very happy there. And yeah, it's quite nice really. Wind wise, it is quite a nice day. It's not a windy day, and getting all of it on my helmet, but nothing around my sort of torso downwards is cutting through the air. A bit like the old KTM Dukes do, they're really good job of that. This is a similar sort of thing, probably because of that headlight. Got loads of roll-on power. Oh, just had a bug splat in my eye, lovely. Roll-on power, loads of it, plenty there. And yeah, up this really steep hill is just no problem at all. Absolute piece of cake. Very nice and easy to hold the speed as well. Some bikes you got to kind of go on and off the throttle a little bit. This is just holding this speed beautifully. And as I say, to get a quick shifter chucked in with this bike for the price that it is, not bad. That's good going. Because with the Hornet you have to pay another 250 quid. But to be fair, you're only paying what, 7 grand for the Hornet? So this is, you know, a bit more, but it's just different. Suspension is, I mean, I haven't adjusted it. I guess it's got pre-stage adjustable at the back. I haven't messed around with it. I could do with it being a lot softer, because at the moment it's set up and it's quite taut, and the vibes are not the vibes. The shocks are coming right up through my back here, and I like to glide over the bumps, not be part of them. So now, as with many of these bikes, we have got a huge great whale tail, as I call it, on it, on the back. So you're going to want to get a tail tidy, I'd imagine, or most people would. Ironically, I've been up on Dartmoor today and the mud is still flicked up my back. So it's not like it's even got a massively decent practical use. But they've got to do what they've got to do. It's Euro 5 regulations. Yeah, so that's it for the review of the Suzuki GSX 8S. Overall, it's a bike which isn't for me, because I'm not a hooner. Not that that matters, but if that's something that you're after, then yeah, go for it. I mean, it's reliable, parts are going to be easy to get, 3-year warranty. It's a good price to buy, you know, in today's standards. It's fast, it's quick. You get the quick shifter as standard. You've got 4 different colours you can get to choose from. TFT dash, which is very clear. So this will suit, you know, a lot of people. Probably the younger crowd, I would say, maybe. But yeah, we all want different things in different bikes, don't we? So it's good to have a bit of variety at the end of the day. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Please give the video a like, would help me a lot. I've got loads of videos on the channel. Do a lot with Honda and Royal Enfield and alike, a bit of Triumph as well. So yeah, do, you know, subscribe if you haven't done already. I think there's a bit for you to watch if motorbikes is your thing. Apart from that, I want to say thanks to Bridge Motorcycles in Exeter for lending me the bike. And I guess I'll see you next Sunday at 5 PM. Thank you very much for watching. Give the video a like if you would. Thanks.